For my other artifact, I included photos of signage around the park. Not really a park, around the beach. Um, the first photo was of Protect the Dunes signage. I just thought it was really interesting because it kind of shows how we as humans are interacting with the space and how we are trying to do anything we can to preserve the beauty of this place. I think it's really interesting because um, I just came from the city, from Chinatown, and saw how there was a lot of litter around. People were kind of doing it freely, like without it, like really double thinking, like second guessing themselves or double thinking. Um, Kind of just got me thinking about, again, like environmental racism and how other people, like how wealthier areas in the world sort of want to preserve their spaces a little bit more. But the signage also got me thinking about sort of like how other, like, non-human creatures interact with the space. I saw dogs kind of walking around and seeing like just a bunch of insects flying around, and just wondering how they're sort of interacting with the space. I'm not really seeing signage like don't feed this, don't do this, with animals. And it got me wondering, like, are there really animals like sort of coming into this space, even though like being outside, like this is kind of their natural habitat. I think just being by a beach, I would say like maybe a common animal would be like maybe like a fish, in the lake, which would make sense why a bunch of like the stuff is closed off, like why we can't go any like to any other further points. But back to like my point on like levels of like wealth and stuff. There's another signage that says like, oh, only like the beach is only accessible by wearers of a certain wristband. They have to purchase it. And while it's not that pricey, it still got you thinking about, so other people who don't have the money can't really access this space. So while we as humans have the ability to access and enjoy this space, not everyone can, you know. So just really interesting to see how these challenges are sort of man-made rather than, there's a restriction by the natural world. It's sort of a restriction that we made ourselves. So yeah, otherwise the space is still really lively. It's getting closer to nighttime, so a lot of more bugs and insects are kind of approaching. You can also hear, concert happening in the background. So again, just really seeing how humans interact with the space, rather as opposed to sort of like insects and animals, you know. So yeah.